Yo, what's up guys? Got the Yellow Ranger helmet done. I finally finished the mold a couple days ago, 3 days ago, and I'm going to pull one of these casts out. I already know that the mold came out good because this is not the first cast out of it. This is actually the 5th, I think, and I just made this one for myself. So this one is fiberglass, this helmet. So I'm going to pull this out of here and we'll see how it looks. This is probably the heaviest mold that I've ever made. It is Rebound 40 silicone. I used more than 2 quarts of that. Triple layer fiberglass mother mold with plasti paste around the keys and things like that to around the spine to simplify it so it's easier to fiberglass. So this mold is probably a good 20 pounds empty without any helmet in it, without any resin. So, but I'll tell you, sure the hell is strong. And this is the first time I've done this to my molds. I wanted to start doing this. But I've added keyways into the fiberglass as well so that everything stays in alignment even better. Alright, so I'm going to pop this out. This is kind of, sometimes it's a little hard to pop out of here, but there it is. You can see how I go around the keys and the spine. Everywhere that's like sort of a hard angle to fiberglass, I'll go in there with plasti paste and sort of just simplify the form so it's a lot easier to fiberglass over. So there's the jacket mold out of Rebound 40. Here's the sort of zippered split line that I always do. And while this is cut in a sort of zipper pattern, on the inside it's pretty much a straight cut, so I don't cut all the way through. Whenever I do these zipper cuts, that's just to key this back together. That doesn't go the whole way through to the helmet anymore. After I cut this in a zigzag, I'll sort of start at the bottom and work my way up, and just with an X-Acto I'll go from the inside, pull that apart as much as I can, and do a straight cut, so that the seam on the helmet is still relatively straight, not all zigzaggy. So, and this one I did have to go a little further up with the split line, more than halfway, because the ears on the saber-tooth tiger, you really have to pull the mold away to get to clear the ears. So the split line has to go up a little bit further on this than usual. Piece of fiberglass. Pop this out. The flashing that's on here is real easy to pop off. You can just pull that off with your finger. Spent a couple months on this helmet, on the master helmet I mean, fixing it up, adding all the detail lines to it, because there were none on the cast that I fixed, so that took forever. There it is. I'll show you the mold real quick. This is a heavy silicone jacket mold here. Let me put this aside for a second. And here is the helmet. There's the seam line, which again, it's literally paper thin. It just pops off with your finger. And that's it. Has the breathing holes. It's hard to tell, but all the detail lines are on there, everywhere they need to be. And don't let this, you can see some black in here under the eyes and at the top of the mouth. What I do to make these is first I'll slush cast some Smooth Cast 300 resin in the mold, and just to get the detail, just to get the outer coat of the helmet in this white resin. Then I'll go back on the inside and fiberglass everything, and without adding 700 layers of resin, it's pretty much impossible to cover all the high spots in the mold, this mouth area being one of them. So the white resin doesn't cover there, but it's still super strong because it's still fiberglassed behind that. And also the eyes here, you can see those are high points in the mold. That's why I have to use a whole bunch of resin. When I make these out of solid resin, I use 5.5 cups to make yellow. Yellow's a big helmet anyway, front to back. It's pretty long actually. So you need to use that much resin to get all the high spots to cover. Now when you're doing it in fiberglass or backing it in fiberglass like this one, doesn't matter if you cover all the high spots, because you're going to be in there by hand doing all the fiberglass behind it, so that's going to cover it and make it strong. If this was just a solid resin cast, this would obviously be a weak point. Same thing with these eyes. So you don't have to worry about that though with this one. This is nice and strong, feels good. It's feeling around for thickness here. That feels fine. It's not a heavy helmet, even though there's 5 cups of Smooth Cast 300 and fiberglass resin total. It's still not a heavy helmet, but it's really, really strong. So there it is. If you guys want to see any close-up pictures of these casts in good lighting and stuff, where you can see all the detail lines and all that, check out my Facebook. I'll put a link to it in the description box of this video. You can check out all my helmet kits, all the work that I do to them before I mold them. All my Power Ranger stuff, all my helmet stuff is in my albums on Facebook, and they're all public albums, so you don't have to add me as a friend or anything just to look at them. And you can see this and all the rest. So that's it. Thanks for watching, and if you want one, let me know. Otherwise, I'll see you on the next video. Later.